Hello and welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod. Whew, look at that, a whole bunch of blank up there for the shield resupply. You would think days in past 3,400 would be full of awesome. Just saying. We've been getting a 5-star cover like every 15 days though, so I guess I can't complain. It's only been a thing for the last month and a half, something like that now. But still, I don't know. It's a lot of days. What are we here for today? Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Hi, Maury. Maury Jill. I'm not sure what I should call you, but thank you for chatting in with me. I appreciate it. Let's see. What am I doing here today? Oh yeah, I almost got sidetracked. Crash the Titans, because I am a giant procrastinator. Pretty much put the pro into it. So for the Deadpool Daily Crash the Titans Day, it's only a single one. It looks like it's against Jeff, because we could tell by the telltale fin sitting there. And let's see who we get to use today. Now, first off, I just want to note that this whole Jeff thing, you just call me Maury. Okay, I'll do that, Maury. Thank you. Hey, DC, good to see you too. Good evening. So this whole triple shark jazz just started like what, last week? Was it last week? I think it was last week. Hey Mark, good to see you too. Jeff's the new one in the game. We all know this. He's kind of up in the title. He's up in our Deadpool Daily stuff. I don't have much to say that you don't know about him yet. Just know that he is the chasm killer in the way that he can eat abyss tiles. He can also send himself away for a turn to come back and be basically immune to most damage. And I think my voice is echoing. There you go. I just unechoed myself. I ended up hearing my own voice play back to me. That was weird. So I don't know what else I can really say about Jeff yet. I don't have a ton of time or put into him yet. His 3-star seems to be okay. There's no real passives built into him. So I want to be using them for everyday play. I still think my 3-star squad for Deadpool Dailies is still Arcades, Scarlet Witch, and Thanos. I'm not saying Jeffrey's not good, but I don't think he's that amazing when it comes to just trying to get through the dailies. He's probably got a lot of good uses otherwise. I just haven't really got to play with him that much yet. Don't worry, we're about 7 covers into him for 5-star land though, so I'll be able to report on that better soon. Who would I use for a team of sharks? I mean, it's like a 270 team of sharks too, right? Now, I'm not going to use any 5-stars. I feel like we shouldn't have to. I feel like it's just 2 3-stars and a 5-star that's been under-leveled, right? I mean, that's fair to say, I think, right? So, probably we should use something a little more tame. This is basically a Crash of the Titans that is accessible to everyone. We just have to build it right. So what if we made it all 3-stars? What if we fought it like, hey, this is your 3-star peeps' chance to get legendary tokens? Because that's kind of what it is, really. You can make your own team. So, what's that? For 3-star Arcade, you team them up with 3-star Dr. Doom. Haven't found another 3-star yet to complete the team. What was that? Is Hella worth getting? I want her just because of it being Hella. Tell you what, let me switch to 5-star line just to show off what we're talking about here. Hella, she's not bad. She was cool in a way before Yelena Belova came out in 5-star land, basically because of Death's best friend. The passive there stated the enemy team has more than 10 green AP, deal damage to target, destroy 2 of it. That was great because at the time, 5-star Thor was a thorn in everyone's side. He kept gathering green or yellow and red, for the enemy team, and just constantly throwing those powers out was annoying. Hella put kind of a damper in that plan, because if you saw an enemy Hella, Thor's 12 AP ability isn't going to go off that often, and it hurt to do it. But since Yelena Belova came out, she stops, I don't know, everything, all the colors from gathering that high. So Hela saw a dip in that. I will say this for Hela though, her black, the active ability is okay. It's 9 black. You put all the blue tiles become attack tiles, which is okay. But the passive, when you down an enemy, improve all friendly strike, attack, and protect tiles by 364. It's like a super kitty buff. You know how kitty buffs every turn? But kitty can only buff up to 5 tiles at a time. Hela can actually buff all the tiles in one hit, and it's a strong buff. The only problem is you can only do it probably twice a fight, you know? Assuming that people aren't reviving themselves over and over again. I mean, if you're going against a team that's going to constantly pop back up like I-Hulk, well, I guess you're going to constantly buff. But you're probably not using Hela against him either. Knives Out is probably the least impressive of them, but it does have a good use. It makes some really good strike tiles, and it replaces enemy strike, attack, or protect tiles. That's pretty decent, but I think for those purposes alone, I think I still like her green and her black better. In the end, my synopsis is Hela's kind of past her prime. There's a lot of people that do what she does better, and she's probably only to be used when buffed nowadays. So anyways, Maury, I hope that helps. Okay, 3-star time. I'm going to build a 3-star team. So we can take them out yet. Should I just show off my 3-star team I use, I don't know, every day? Maybe that'll help? I think we could. Maybe we should do that. Let's do it. Scarlet Witch. And I'll go through the reasonings as to why I use them. Arcade. And Thanos. And I buffed the purple and black. Nothing else needs a buff. Biggest reason is because if you take Arcade, which has these passive traps that he builds every turn, and just take a look down there, okay? The trap deals 1,165 damage to a random enemy when you match it, right? If the enemy matches it, it does that damage back to them. Oh, hey, Maury. I'm kind of embarrassed on who my first 5-star champ is going to be. It'll be what? Don't be embarrassed, Maury. My first 5-star champ was 5-star Captain Marvel. So I'm right there with you. It took me a long time to get a good, decent 5-star champ team rolling, and Captain Marvel was not it. So was that DC use 3-star Thanos, Strange, and 3-star Thor, and just target the weakest OP first? Well, DC, I'm not going to say yours is better or worse than what I'm using, but let me just show you what I've got here, because I find mine to be super fast. These Murder World trap tiles deal a decent amount of damage, and they're made 2 per turn. I don't have to spend any AP. He's just making trap tiles, right? Throw on Taskmaster Sword, will ya? Or any other support that adds damage. In the support details, you'll see support a character's powers at rank 3 thing. Supporter's character's powers deal an additional 1,110 damage to enemies. Not bad. Also deals extra damage to heroes on the rank 1 ability. That's just kind of a cherry on top if there are heroes involved. But really that rank 3 is what we're looking at. If I could also mess around here, where is it at? Vibranium Ore is another option for you. Rank 1, supported character's powers deal an additional 709 damage to enemies. You also get some extra protection from match damage and a chance to gain extra AP at rank 4, but that's if you got those ranks. But I choose Taskmaster Sword because it does more damage overall. Vibranium Ore is just a secondary pick. So Arcade plus these trap tiles plus that support, the Taskmaster Sword, these traps are going to do about 2,000 per pop. And you've spent no AP. Okay? Just think about that for a second. No AP, 3-star character, 2,000 damage, and you're making 2 of these every turn. Scarlet Witch sits there with her Arcane Incantation, putting out a 3-turn blue countdown tile that transforms 5 random addition of team-up tiles to purple. We get how that works, right? The reason that's cool is because if there are trap tiles around, it doesn't destroy the trap tile, it just changes its color to purple, and thus it could innately just match it for you. Also, it gives you more purple. I don't need it for Reality Crush. Get out of here. Go back to Arcade. Cast Murder World. choose the color that matches most of your traps. Like say you have like 2 yellow traps, a green trap, a blue trap, and 2 purples. Choose yellow or purple. They're the ones with the most color in it. You're going to do the most damage, and it only costs 7 purple to get it done. You're going to basically blow up the enemy team with extra damage from Taskmaster's Sword. Before you know it, you're triggering Thanos, Court Death. We all know what that does. We're looking at 4,200 damage at what level I have him at. And your fight's probably pretty close to done. If you get the extra blue and black, please use it on insert coin for the fire property, or happy birthday as well. You're going to be doing damage hand over fist with everything being buffed by that sword. But hey, let's talk about it more. No, let's go fight. I used to work a lot, so I'm finally getting some time to play, so finally hit almost 120 shield. Hey, nice, Maury. 120 shield level is a big deal. I could be wrong in this, but I think that's where you can start getting into, what, shield clearance level 10? Something like that. I feel it's right around on that point. Okay, so the only thing about arcade is you do have to make sure you're not destroying your murder roll control room. It's not that it's bad if you do. I mean, if you do, oh well. But if it gets destroyed, his trap tiles deal 50% less damage. Mind you, that's before the Taskmaster's Sword kicks in. So if his traps deal 1,000, let's just say it for a nice round number, and you get rid of the control room, his traps will deal 500, right? But then you add in the Taskmaster Sword buff. So you're still going to be doing like 1,500 at that point. For a 3-star, that's brilliant. Here we go. Oh, I should probably turn on the animations, shouldn't I? Boop, doop, doop, doop. Hey, John, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Here we go. More traps. 2,000 per smack. We're doing an all 3-star run here, John, of the Sharks, just to show people what I like to do with 3-star team every day. And showing how we can use it to potentially, I'm hoping, beat the Sharks up. I say I'm hoping because honestly, nothing's guaranteed, right? I like this set of black and team up over here, but I'm going to be quite honest. They don't use black, so I'm not that scared of that. I'm going to rather get this blue over here. Is that John? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment there, man. Been using the team since you mentioned it. You still want a true test node in the game. Yes, I believe that. A test node would be great where we can just test out teams all we want. You know, theoreticals. Don't have to keep anything. Just, you know, let me play around. I'm getting rid of that. Even though it was my arcane incantation there, I got rid of it because the trap, the damage, the AP is worth it. Okay, so my insert coin is ready. And whenever you get a chance, throw it on fire when you can. Earth is the secondary choice. Poison, that poison cloud being the last one. Poison cloud isn't horrible, but all it does is lock tiles, and he has a passive built in. You can't see it unless you pick the ability, but it basically states that any locked tile depletes AP from the enemy in that color like every turn. It's kind of weird, but it is nice, to be quite honest. It's not as nice as, you know, damage every turn. So that repeater is going to go off every turn, dealing, 1,254 damage. Oh no, wait, don't forget your sword. There's a reason why I mentioned the sword. Let's go with, I don't know. I almost want to match these team ups, but that gives Jeff the purple, and I want the purple. Let's take this one. Flame Burst again, 2,500. I mean, every turn? It's not bad. Murder World, what we got? We got 2 green traps. I got 3 blue traps. I think we're going to go blue. So we're going to choose blue. It's going to get rid of the blue traps. Boom. That's a lot of damage for 3-star land. It's kind of amazes me how cheap his powers are. And all 3 of them do damage. So it means all 3 of them get that Taskmaster Sword buff. I think I'm going to have to choose the team up tile finally. So you get really good rewards from events after that more. Yeah, actually shield clearance level 10 is super sweet rewards. Oh, there goes 5-star dude. There goes Thanos. Yeah, John, sword on arcade. Yes, totally. Sword on arcade for show. because it's, you know, you're adding on like 1,000 damage. There you go. Trap, 2,000 damage. Just, you know, just straight up damage. All three of Arcade's abilities are damage. So why not boost that damage for a 3-star into amazing levels? Amazing for 3-star land. Let's call it what it is. We have 1, 2 blue traps out there. 1, 2, 3, 3 reds. So now we're going to put this on red. Choose one with the most color. Boop. That's a lot of damage. I did 11,000 at poor shark. Yep, we'll do that right there. There goes my control room, but I just triggered a trap, so it's worth it. Flame burst. One more turn of that, and that shark's gone. That's another Murder World trap tile. Now that one I won't match because I'd be getting rid of my flame burst. And unfortunately, those sharks might get rid of it too. But this is one of those times I think I'll play a little more strategic. I want to keep my flame burst around, right? I don't want him to take it. The sharks do like red. They will take this match 4 of yellow. So I'm going to leave that alone and let them take it. Sure, it's going to clear out 2 of my traps, but what do I care? We make 2 free traps every turn. I want my flame burst to stick around intact. Flame burst, boop. Court death, another boop on the nose. And we're pretty much done. This thing's gonna go off here in a second, but I mean, all it is just more damage. And it's pretty much game, because here comes the flame burst. There you go. I mean, wasn't much of a sweat. These are all 3-star dudes. Took on the 5-star shark and his kids. That Taskmaster sword hits like a truck, especially for 3-star land. You know, it's almost unfair. So yeah, every time this node pops up, the Mighty Mighty Toss Down, that's my team every time. It makes it super quick, and you know, as you saw, those sharks were beefy, like over 20,000 health each, right? And they went down without much of a sweat. Imagine on the Mighty Mighty, they're only about like what, 10,000 each? Yikes. Thanks, DC. Thanks, Maury. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. And that's it. That's my procrastinator version of Crash of the Titans. I hope that was helpful for anyone who needed it. We got to use, we get to show off the 3-star team I've been playing around with lately. And you get to use 2 people that we should all have by now, right? Wanda and Thanos, all champed up. And I hope by now we all got Arcade champed up. So it should be easy for people to get. Taskmaster Sword's a little bit of a question mark. Hopefully you have it. If you don't, also Vibranium or boosts your damage, so don't forget. That's another option. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there. What's that, DC? Any update from that person trying to whale up to 5-star and skip? You know, honestly, I talked to them, chatted back and forth once or twice with them on Reddit. It's more of a just... he's got the disposable income. He doesn't want to spend the amount of time the rest of us have put into grinding, and he's just trying to figure it out for himself in that vein. I mean, good luck to him. I've told him, hey, if you figure it out, write a guide. I'm sure there's someone else out there that has disposable income who might want to try this out, but the rest of us, I'm sure we all already got the memo. This is a long, long, grindy game, and there's really no way to shake that. So, anyways, yeah, have a good night, Mark. Have a good night, DC, Maury. Thanks for the first-time chat. I appreciate it. And, of course, John, thanks for joining in. I'll talk to you all next time. Good night, everybody.